Well, hello, amazing people. I see you coming into the space. Let's talk about this. I'm sure you saw the title and was like, what's going on? When we talk about your more than your job performance, we're going to take it a little deeper today. So go ahead, get your tea, settle in. I'm just going to be live for like maybe about 15 minutes. If you don't know me, I am Jamaica Koss. I am the founder and executive director of the Hummingbird Project, and we're just going to talk about some real deal stuff here today. A lot of times we talk about the dynamics of the unfortunate crimes and victimization of sexual violence and assaults against women, but today I want to talk about something that we don't talk about a lot, and that is the wholeness and totality of a person and how we can show up in spaces and places. And many times we want to just address harm, we want to address the aspects of healing that are directly correlated with being harmed, right? But it's more complex than that. And it's bigger at times than that for many, and it shows up in different places and spaces. And so that's what I wanted to talk about with you on today. I'm not in my usual little nesting corner today because it's hot as heck. Okay, it's hot. And I actually am going live a little bit later than usual. And so I just wanted to just jump on in another space and chat with you. If you're watching the replay, thank you for tuning in. I come on at least once a week and just drop some gems and get some knowledge base from you, and your interactions are helpful too because it helps to inform the community because we're all different and we have different aspects and spaces and ways that we heal, ways that we retain information, and ways that we want to progress. And so your involvement in this community is just as vital as what I share. So first and foremost, again, Sawubona. It's I see you in the fullness of your existence. That's a Zulu um, salutation that we embody at the Hummingbird Project. And what it means is literally, I'm choosing to see you and letting you know I recognize everything that you bring to the table when we're together. And so I'm asking that you will give me the response of Sikona, which means that you want to be seen and that you'll be fully present with me. And so I, in turn, give that to you. So I'm going to show up fully who I am. And so that I am a complex woman like many others, where, yes, I'm wearing my executive director hat and communicating with you, but I'm a sister, I'm a neighbor, I'm a friend, I'm a colleague, I'm a daughter, and so I'm a mother, and so I'm a wife, and so I show up in many aspects of myself. So bear with me if I go left on the live and show you a different aspect other than what we're talking about, but I'll try to stick to the script. But you're more than your job performance, right? Let me know who's also chiming in on the live. I would just love to say hello to you, but and also feel free again to comment. But when we show up at our jobs, many times our jobs are just a huge sense of identity for us. It's where we earn our bread, right? It's where we many times have our finances that are maintaining households, and allowing us to do the things that we dream of, homes, and just the different things that we need for every day for our families. And so our jobs are really crucial. Or maybe you're self-employed. We don't talk a lot about those who are self-employed, or those who are entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, nonprofit founders. All that, we don't really talk about that many times. We just talk about employment in the realm of working for someone. But nonetheless, if you have worked on a job, you should relate to some of the things that's being shared today. But it is an identity for many, and the reason I believe that is the case is because you spend almost 8 to 12 hours sometimes every day at that specific job or working for that specific
business, etc. And if you're an entrepreneur, please, you're probably working 15 hours a day because you're just on constantly. Either you're dreaming of things, writing things, or actually working in the business. And so it's a part of your DNA every day. And so it makes sense why at times your identity becomes convoluted within your job. And if you have ever been affected by um, perhaps rejection or just hard times or overcame some really hard things in life, there's one dynamic sometimes that we will take when it becomes what we call overperforming, right? And overperforming it's something that happens a lot of times you don't even realize you're doing it, but it's like you just got to be the best at what you're doing, and you're the first one to arrive, the last one to leave. And the pressure many times that you put on yourself, you start to feel it in your body before you recognize that, oh wow, I'm off kilter here. You want to outperform everybody at the job. You're the one. It has to be your way many times, or it's not the right way. If your hands are not put to it, something's wrong. Come on, am I talking right? Is there anybody else that can identify? And y'all know me. If you don't know me by now, I don't talk about anything that I have not either experienced by learned experience myself, or have done a lot of studying and feel like, okay, I think I got this part down. But I've noticed that in my life in the past, coming up as a leader. I remember newly graduating from college, and um, just feeling like I was going to take the world by storm, right? But I didn't realize I was in a real rebellious state. Just being honest, right? I had a whole bunch of stuff going on in my teenage years and in my adolescent years that I was just going to prove the world that I was going to do be great, right? And that nobody was going to hold me down. So I overperformed. Okay. Again, first person at the job, last person to leave. And one of the indicators when your job becomes a part of your identity in a non-healthy way is you really, really take hard when somebody criticizes you. We're talking about the holisticness, like, do we want to heal or not, right? But you really struggle with criticism. You struggle with, even if it's um constructive criticism. Like if you are having an evaluation coming up, you distressed about the evaluation coming up, because if it's not perfect, if you don't get excellent in all areas and aspects on that evaluation, it's going to be problematic. Am I talking right? Somebody let me know if you in the comments, or if you are watching this, if you have ever been there or know somebody that's ever been there. If it's not 100% excellent on that evaluation, first of all, you probably done already typed up your response, because you're going to respond to that evaluation, right? You're going to type up your response as to what they stated was not correct. It was off. That you want proof. you, you want the social proof. You want the proof as to why they say you need to grow in X, Y, and Z area. It's because a lot of times we have a hard time evaluating ourselves. And that little box at the bottom, usually of the evaluation, when they say, do you have any input that you want to share? Or if they give you opportunities to self evaluate yourself, most times it was the best. You pretty much put that there is no room for improvement. Or if there's room for improvement, it's more like the icing on the cake, right? It's more like the cherry on top, where you're like, oh, I can refine my skills in this area. Refinement does not mean that I'm lacking in this area. Right? And so you really struggle with somebody evaluating what it is that you do, or if you've ever been there. Maybe you're not there now, but you can relate to it. But a lot of times, the areas that we actually are healing in, or the areas that we really want to address in our lives, they show up on the job. And because, again, this is the place, this is your bread and butter, this is the place that's providing for your family many times. This is the place, that's allowing you to see your stature, and how you feel like you've grown as a person, or your career is a huge part of, your makeup, and how you see success sometimes. And so when that starts getting impacted by your job performance, or you feel like you're not meeting the mark, I implore you to inquire more of yourself as to where that stems from. right? Like, what is it about me that puts so much emphasis on how I perform on this job? Or why do I put so much emphasis on how I perform in my nonprofit or in my entrepreneurial venture or in my business? Sometimes you will stick so much in your mind about the performance that you won't move. Am I talking right? You will think so hard about that thing. Before you know it, you done thought about it for months and made no action because you're trying to make sure that it's perfect. And it's like, just can you just step out? Can you risk actually not accomplishing what it was that you thought it would be? Or could you risk failure? Do you ever struggle with your performance in whatever venture because of your fear of failure? I'm gonna tell you right now, as the entrepreneur, you're gonna fail. You're not growing. Those that we see in these highlight reels, that have made it, they've grossed more than 100K in their first year net, or they're millionaires now. I guarantee you they have had failures. You just don't see it in the highlight reel because it's not attractive, right? Failure, falling, or it not accomplishing what you thought it would be, that big mastermind thought or that big mastermind idea, not actually meeting out what it was that you thought it would be, that you put out there for everybody to see. It's not really cute, right? It's not attractive. But I implore you to just remember that failures happen, and when failures happen, there are opportunities to learn and to grow and to thrive past that failure. It's your own data that helps you to be informed for the win, right? And so you're more than your job, sis. Like, period. You are more than your job. You're more than what you perform on your job. Because I'll be honest with you, if anybody has been in the workforce long enough, you know that you have left a job and they had somebody in your seat within days. I used to tell my employees, I used to say this. I used to say, I know this is going to be tight, but it's right. But we are all replaceable, including me. I used to tell them, as the executive director, I would tell them, like, I am not above being let go. I am not above somebody taking my seat. And so for us to think that we are the only person that can ever do this job, the only person that can ever sit in this space and it be of any quality, it's really smoke and glass. It's not, because yes, you might be good at what you do, but I guarantee you there's somebody else that can do it too. Right. And so sometimes we put so much emphasis in this one area, in this one space, in this one sector of our life, which is your job or your way of making money or earning, your living. And we forget about the other aspects that's so important. Your health is important. Your mental health is important. Your time with your family is important. Your rest is important, right? And so if we just put all of our eggs in one basket and then that basket ends up being absolved, you lose the job, right? They lay you off. Something happens, all of a sudden our identity is now being affected because we put so much emphasis in that one space. Come on, now I know all about that all too well. You put so much emphasis in this one space that was performing, it was growing, and it was doing what the very vision that you had for it to do. I used to have these 5-year plans that I would do, and I'm not saying for people to do plans, because yes, you need to have a plan, but understand that plans are just that. They're drafts, because you don't know what's coming next year. You don't know what's happening 5 days from now, let alone 1 minute from now. Things can change rapidly, drastically in the next minute. But having these plans, I used to do these plans, and my plans would literally many times just come to fruition because I would just keep trucking at them, keep, doing each goal each time, that, each measurable, and I would see myself get to the end. But I remember doing that and getting to a career like pinnacle and literally losing everything, just like that, losing everything. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what other things I could do because I had put so much emphasis in that one career that one industry. And I was like, how do I make it from here? What do I do at this point? And it was because, again, I put so much emphasis on how I performed in that season, how that's who I am. I am this. You might say I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a therapist, whatever that might be. And then when it's time to pivot, you don't see any other lane that you can jump into, any other opportunity. You might have been like great in another area that you just didn't give any thought to, right? It might be time for you to write books and be an author, but it's like, oh, I just read in my pastime. I read for fun. It's a hobby. And this is my identity. And then you end up missing the very lane that could have been beneficial for you spiritually, mentally, financially, like whatever avenues it could have been. You just never gave it that opportunity because you were so fixated on the area that gave you growth in a previous season. And so I just wanted to just jump on and just ask you to kind of check yourself, like, where am I as a person? Do I know my identity outside of my performance? And I'm gonna tell you this because a lot of time people that's benefiting from your performance are not going to tell you like you doing the most and that you're getting lost in the process because you're allowing others around you to win too. Okay. You're allowing others to utilize your gifts for their own selfish gains. They're not going to tell you to take a nap. Nope, sis. They're not going to tell you you seem stressed. They're not going to tell you you seem overloaded and just beyond what you can carry right now because you're allowing other people to eat at your hands too. And so it's going to be you who's going to make that choice for you. So, yeah, I just wanted to jump on and just give you those nuggets. I would love to hear your thoughts, feedback. Let me know, how you feel about what your job is to you, or what is a job, in this day and age. Like, where does it fit within your whole span of quality of life for you? I love to hear it. Listen, if you need any assistance, need some help, need to connect, or just need some sister time, what have you, go ahead and contact us at hellohummingbirds.org. We love to support, connect, and just be a part of your community as you are embarking on ours. All right, y'all. Y'all take care and be blessed. And don't forget to get some rest.